Alright, Title 49 CFR Part, Code Federal Regulations, Part 216, Special Notice Emergency Order Procedures, Railroad Track, Locomotive, and Equipment, 216.1, Application 216.3, Definitions 216.5, Delegation of General Provisions 216.7, Penalties, Subpart B, Special Notice for the Preparers, Special Notice for the Preparers and Railroad Freight Car, 11, 216.13, Special Notice for the Preparers Locomotive, 216.14, Special Notice for the Preparers Passenger Equipment, 216.15, Special note of the repair track class 216.17 appeal subpart C emergency order track 216.21 note of the track condition 216.23 condition of the recommendation 216.25 issuance review and emergency order 216.27 reservation and authority discretion. Alright. Subpart A, General. 216.1, Application. The part applied for the according with the terms each for the railroad, used for the operators for the railroad, freight with the car, subject for the part 215 with the chapter, the locomotive, subject to Title 49 U.S. Standard Code 2 after 207, Title 49 U.S. Standard Code 2070103, or the railroad passenger equipment, the subject is 238 with the chapter for this part applied for the according with the term each of the railroad owner of the track of the subject part to 213 definitions 216.3 with the use of the in this part the FRA means Federal Railroad Administration, state means the state participating in investigation surveillance activities of Title 49 U.S. Standard Code 20105. Inspector includes for FRA regional supervisor inspectors. Alright, 216.5, Delegation and General Provision. The administrator delegated with the approval appropriate the FRA state with the personal authority with the implementation of the part with the communication administrative relating to the operation of the part with the subject of the docket, the clerk with the chief of the office, counsel, Federal Railroad Administration, Washington, D.C., 20590. The notice is prescribed in 216.11 and 216.13, 216.14, 216.15, and 216.21 of this part shall be issued with the FRA form for the indicate with the part, particular subject of material with the inspector notice, issue the notice delivering with the appropriate officer or agent immediately responsible for the effective locomotive of the car track. 216.7 penalties. Any person or any type of the covered under the Title 1 U.S. Standard Code 1, including but not limited to the following railroad manager, supervisor, official, other employee, agent of the railroad, any other manufacturer, leaser, or lessor of the railroad equipment, the track of the facility, independent contractor provided with goods or served with the railroad with the employee with such owner of the manufacturer, leaser, lessor, independent contractor who violates any requirement of the parts or causes violation of any subject to requirement is subject to the civil penalty or at least of $650, not more than $25 per violation, except for the penalties may be assessed against by individuals only for the willful violations and where the grossly negligent violation pattern repeated violations created with the imminent hazard of death of an injury, person or cause of the death or injury with a penalty not exceeding $105,000 per violation may be assessed. Each of the day violation continues such shall constitute a separate offense. See Part Title 49 CFR Part 209 Appendix A. Alright, subpart B, special notice for repairs. 216.11, special notice for the repairs railroad freight car. The FRA motive power and equipment inspector, the state of the equipment inspector determines the railroad freight if it is not in conformity with the requirements of the FRA freight car safety standards and set forth in Part 215 of the chapter that it is unsafe with further service, and it notifies that the railroad in writing with the car is not in serviceable condition with a special notice set out and describe the effects for the cause of the car to be in unserviceable condition after the receipt. The special note of the railroad shall remove the car from service until it is restored to serviceable condition. This may not be deemed a service condition until it is completely applicable requirements of Part 215 of the chapter. The railroad shall notify the FRA regional administrator in writing when the equipment is returned for the services, specifying the repairs completed with the railroad freight car with the subject of the notice prescribed in paragraph 8 of the section when moved through the space or place where there is found to be unsafe. To further observe at the nearest available point of the car being repaired, if such movement is necessary to make the repairs, however, the movement is subject to the further restriction of 215.9 of this chapter. Alright, 216.13, special note of the repairs of the locomotive. When the FRA motive power and equipment inspector stated equipment inspector determines the locomotive is not safe for the operating with the surface when it is put in whether the reason non-conformity of the FRA railroad safety standards set forth in Part 229 with the chapter of the FRA railroad locomotive inspection regulations set forth in Part 230 with the chapter of the region with any other condition rendering the locomotive unsafe, that he or she will notify the railroad in writing that the locomotive is not unserviceable condition. After the received special note of the railroad shall remove the locomotive from the surface until it is restored in serviceable condition. The locomotive may not be deemed the serviceable condition and comply with the applicable requirements of Part 229, 230 of this chapter until all the additional deficiencies and defined with the special notice has been corrected. The carrier shall notify the FRA region and the rating of the locomotive return, but the service can specify with the repairs of the completed by the carrier officer employee directly responsible for the repair shall subscribe the writing of the oath. Alright, 216.14. Special note of the repairs of passenger equipment. The FRA motive power and equipment inspector and standing equipment inspector determines the railroad passenger equipment is not in conformity with one or more of the requirements of the FRA passenger equipment safety standards set forth in Part 238 with the chapter that is unsafe with the further service that he or she is issued with written special notice for the railroad, but the equipment is not. In surface condition, special notice to describe the defects of the cause of the equipment to be in unserviceable condition. After the receipt, special notice the railroad shall remove the equipment from the surface until the restored in serviceable condition. The equipment may not be deemed serviceable condition until it complies with all applicable requirements for Part 235.8 of this chapter. The railroad shall notify the written of the FRA regional administrator of the FRA region with a special notice for the issue with the equipment is returned with the service and specify the repairs completed. Railroad passenger equipment subject to special notice may be removed to special where it was found with unsafe with the further service to the nearest available point where the special equipment can be repaired and such that the movement is necessary to become the repairs. However, the movement of the subject to further restriction of the statute 238.15 and 238.17 of this chapter. Alright, 216.15. Special note with the repair of the track class. The FRA track inspector with the state and track inspector determined that it does not comply with the requirements for the class for which the track is to be operated defined with the track safety standards of Title 49 CFR Part 213. The notice of the railroad written with the traffic was being lowered with the class operated over the track complied with the speed limiting limitations prescribed in Part 213 with the chapter notice described the conditions required with the track lowered in space. Class specifies the exact location of the affected track segment and the states for the high class and corresponding maximum speed at which the trains may be operated over the tracks, and they receive such notice for the speed of the train operating over all the tracks shall not exceed the state maximum permissible speed until such time the track conforms to an applicable standard with the higher class, the Federal Railroad standard for the FRA regional administrator, and writing with the track is restored to condition permitting operations at speed authorized for a higher class and specifying the repairs completed. Alright, 216.117. Appeals. Upon receipt of the special notice prescribed as 216.11, 216.13, 216.14, 216.15, the railroad may plead with the decision with the inspector for the FRA regional administrator of the region with the notice for the giving of the appeal shall be made with a letter and the telegram with the FRA regional administrator assigned with the instructor other than the inspector whose decision equal appeal with the being taken with the re-inspecting of the railroad freight car with the locomotive railroad passenger equipment of the track. The re-inspection may be made immediately upon the re-inspection of the railroad freight car locomotive passenger equipment is found to be in serviceable condition. The track is found to be complied with the requirements for the class, which is previously operated with the railroad. The FRA regional administrator with his or her agent would immediately notify the railroad whereupon the restriction of the special notice it used to be ineffective with the re-inspection of the decision. Original inspector with the sustained the FRA regional administrator notifies the railroad that the appeal has been denied. A railroad who appeals the FRA regional administrator has been denied within 30 days of the denial appeal of the administrator after affording the opportunity for the informal oral hearing. The administrator may affirm that set aside and modify the whole part of the action of the FRA regional administrator. C. The requirements of the special notice issued with the subpart with the remaining effect observed with the railroad pending appeal with the FRA regional administrator of the administrator to the administrator. Alright, subpart C, emergency order track, 216.21, notice of the track conditions. When the FRA track inspector states the track inspector will find the track conditions may require issuances of the emergency order removing the track with the service under Section 203 with the Public Law 91-458-84 Statute 972 with the 45 U.S. Code 432 with the snow may issue the notice railroad owing the track of the notice set out with the described the conditions found with the inspector specify the location of the of the affected track segment, and the inspector provides the copy of the Federal Regional Track Engineer at the Federal Regional Administration. In the event of the railroad immediately commences the repair of the affected track, and if so advised by the FRA Regional Track Engineer of the Regional Track Engineer Associate assigned the inspector to re-inspect the track immediately on the completion of the repairs. If upon re-inspection from the inspector determined that the necessary repairs have been completed with the withdrawal of the noise for the track conditions. All right, 21623 considerization recommendation. Upon receipt of the notice of the track conditions issued with the statute 21621, the FRA regional administrator prepares the recommendation administrative with the concern of the issue of the emergency order removing the effect of the track from the surface of the program. With the recommendation, the FRA regional administrator considered with the written and with the other material bearing the condition of the track received from the railroad within 3 calendar days of the issuance of the notice of the track conditions and considered with the report of the FRA regional track engineer. 21625 issuance and review of the emergency order. Upon recommendation, the FRA regional administrator, the administrator may issue the emergency order removing the service of the track and identified with the notice issued in statute 21621 as specified in section 203 of the public law number 9145884 statute 972 title 45 U.S. Senate Code 432. Opportunity for the review of the emergency order is provided with accordance with the section 54 of the title 5 of the U.S. Senate Code. Petition for such review must be submitted in writing of the office of Chief Accounts Federal Railroad Administration, Washington, D.C. 20590. Upon request of the petition, the FRA will immediately contact the petitioner and make necessary arrangements. Conferences to be held at the earliest date acceptable to the petitioner. At the conference of the petitioner will be afforded opportunity to submit an arrangement for the proposal, modification, withdrawal of the emergency order, the controversy reserved. All of the conference and hearing is desired of the petitioner must be submitted a written request for the hearing within 15 days after the conference. The hearing will commence within 14 calendar days of the receipt of the request within the conducted in accordance with the section 556 and 575 of the Title 5 U.S. Standard Code. Unless stated modified with the administrative requirements of the emergency order under the subpart shall remain effective to observe the pending decision and petition for the review. Alright, 21627, reservation of authority discretion. The FRA may issue the emergency order concerning the track without regarding the procedures described in subpart wherever the administrator determines the immediate action required to assure the public safety.